Hello and welcome to the Tongue of the Trees channel. I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer, and I understand you're here because you want to know, what is lemongrass essential oil good for? Well, you come to the right place. I'm a professional aromatherapist with nearly 30 years experience. I am the UK director of the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapists, the author of the Secret Healer series of books, of which there are over 20, and the co-creator of the Tongue in the Trees card. And here we go, here is our lemongrass card. Now, lemongrass is a funny oil from the point of view that there are quite a lot of safety issues with it, and also it's one of the few oils that's more important for emotional healing and psychological healing rather than the physical properties of it, really. However, what we're going to talk about today are the physical properties, and then if you bear with me till the end, I'll give you a link to another video that's more involved, actually, that tells you more about the safety, about the psychological issues of the oils, and how you can get all those details to you. But first, let's look at the physical body. And what do I mean by that? Well, this body, what does it do to this? And so I'm going to take that information from this book, the book that I wrote, and if you go to the other video, I'll give you also details of how you can download that for free. But so what have we written in here? Historical successes of using this essential oil have included that it's anti-infectious. Well, very useful oil for if somebody's got coughs and colds or worse in the house and you're worried about it spreading to the rest of the family, because let's be honest, we always are, or worse still, things like sickness and diarrhea and stuff like that. It's a great oil to put into a little spray bottle and make a misting spray, and to mist the air because it smells so beautiful, and you get the emotional and uplifting properties of as well. And also to wipe over your work surfaces. It's lovely in the kitchen because of course it smells like a kitchen thing. We're used to eating lemongrass, aren't we? But also light switches, the toilet flush, all of that stuff, all the stuff that everybody will touch. Banister in our house is one that I used to forget and think, and when I realised, I was like, oh, that was a bit silly, wasn't it? So yeah, so very good from that point of view, and anti-infectious, as I say. And of course you can diffuse like lemongrass to have, what will happen when you diffuse is the aromatic molecules go into the air and dissipate and obviously work within the air. So it's a good way of disinfecting the air. So yeah, that was a good one. Fevers. Now, anybody who watches my channels regularly or reads my books will know that this is a bit of a bugbear to me. Although it has the properties of reducing fever, it's not really something that I advocate. The reason for that is your body creates a fever so that it can overcome a pathogen or a disease in your body. So if there are microbes attacking you, you've got sickness, diarrhea, or you've got a cold and your temperature goes up, the fever is the body's way of killing that, of overcoming it. So by trying to reduce the fever, what you're actually doing is bringing that down. So that doesn't seem like a bright idea to me. Likewise, there's quite a lot of misinformation about children and seizures, that when a child's temperature spikes, then they can have a seizure, and therefore you should give them paracetamol or something like that to get the pain down. But in actual fact, what happens is the seizure happens because of a change in temperature. Not necessarily that it's gone up, but if you bring a child's temperature down, or indeed anybody's temperature down very quickly, you can trigger the seizure. It's that triggers it. So to be honest, it wouldn't be the first port of call anyway. Probably peppermint is better, but I have found that it's very good if you have hot flushes. My hot flushes and I are intimately acquainted, and just that, like a spritz of it, that brings the hot flush down, but also makes me feel a bit more on top of things. From that point of view, if we're saying a temperature change, then that's super, but I wouldn't really advocate using it for bringing temperatures down, if that makes sense. It is antiseptic. It's a bit of a stingy oil though, to be honest, at the same time. So if somebody's got a cut or a graze and you want an antiseptic oil, then lavender is going to be soothing rather than the lemongrass. Can you see what I was saying about there's lots more emotional uses? It has lots of properties, but in all cases I would say there's a better oil, or I can think of a different way of using it that would be better than that. But on the emotional side, trust me, there's nothing to touch it. So hopefully you'll want to go and learn all about that on the other video. What it is very useful for though is it's insect repellent. I can't speak. Insect repellent to both fleas and ticks. Now cats and dogs seem to like the smell of it, so that's useful. So if you make a little bit, again, a spray, and spray it over the dog or the cat, then you tend not to find that the insects like them quite as much. I'm not saying it's 100% guaranteed, but it is quite a good deterrent. Likewise, it's a very good deodorant. So if you're somebody who likes making natural products and you're thinking of making a natural deodorant, then a bit of lemongrass is lovely. It's got the beautiful scent, and it helps to alleviate any pongs. Very nice, as I say, refreshing. One of the good properties of it though is it's wonderful for sweaty feet. So if you're making a foot balm, then bit of peppermint or something like that will cool the feet, as well, of course, the lemongrass, but also it's very refreshing, and it just makes you feel a bit more on top of things on your feet, a bit more zingy feet, so relaxed feet. Not explaining that very well at all, am I? Most importantly, I guess, are the facts that it is digestive. Obviously, that's why we eat it. It's one of the main I was going to say vegetables, herbs of the Thai food and stuff like that, isn't it? We have it in Eastern food, and it is lovely and digestant, but also it's nerving, and if somebody's suffering from nervous tension, it's a lovely one. Now I have to say, it's not an oil that I use very often for that, to the extent that I didn't even put it in my book. But my co-creator, Gergle Halodi, who is the person that's behind all of the tremendous design work behind these cards, he wrote it and he went, why have you missed that off? I went, I don't know why. He went, that's the main way I use it. And I said, oh, I can see that now. So, as I say, in the next video, if you want to hop across, we will talk more about the emotional, spiritual and mental aspects of the oil. And those are the main ways that both of us would use lemongrass essential oil. But if we're not careful, this is going to become a very, very long video, and I don't want that. But feel free to come and watch the masterclass. What we'll also talk about is the safety side of lemongrass essential oil, and things like, is lemongrass essential oil safe in pregnancy? You should be checking that. Is it safe for children, babies, breastfeeding? Is it safe around your cats and dogs? People seem to be very interested in that. You know, when I trained, oh, it's 28 years ago now, we never even thought about that. So I've had to go and learn all that to answer that question for you. So if you've got animals and you're thinking, well, I'm going to diffuse it, how are the animals going to take it? We can do that. Now, I am not a pictures person. these beautiful cards, I can't do it the right way, these beautiful cards have nothing to do with me. I don't have a visual bone in my body, but I wrote the poems that go with them as if the lemongrass oil is talking to you. And Gare Glazer, clever one. But what he's also fantastic at is blending. And so in the other video, we also talk about essential oil blending, because I went through and I went, oh, I can do the emotional ones, I can do the physical ones, I can do the safety, and I left it blank. So what I've done is tricked him into giving you his world-class knowledge about how to blend lemongrass essential oil, which one of those would go best with it, and how to do that. So yeah, please do come across. So in the video, just to recap, we will talk about lemongrass essential oil for emotional health, for mental health support, for spiritual support. And I always like to say that I'm not necessarily talking about religion. I'm talking about your personal, intimate quest through life, the battle that you have with yourself and becoming this better person, happier person. How can lemongrass essential oil help you with that? So we'll look at that. We'll look at the blending. We'll also look at some ideas of how to use the oil, go a little bit more detail into that. And then we will talk about the safety and things like maximum dilution. It's one of the oils that does have issues about skin, so you shouldn't really use very much of it. So we'll talk about that in the other video. What's the maximum amount that it's safe to use? And then, so to give you a recap, you've got all of that. Then you will also get details of how you can download this book, nice big thick book, good textbook, for free. And how you'll be able to buy the Tongue in the Trees cards. We'll talk more about how to use those, because they are for the emotional aspects and physical rather than the physical. We'll talk about more about how you use the cards and how you can buy them if you would like to, and also tell you about the company that we've chosen to be our distributor, who are also the most amazing oils company. So if you decide, yes, I would like my cards, I also haven't got any lemongrass oil, I would like to buy some lemongrass oil, then they can send it out to you at the same time and save you shipping, because of course you'll only pay once. And finally, we'll also give you some details of how to access another video if you want to. If you feel, well, yeah, I understand what I've got to do with this oil, I understand it's for fleas and ticks, etc., but I would not know how to go about making a spray to disinfect the room, for example. We'll give you directions of how you can get to a video that tells you, shows you actually how to make those with the recipes, and actually goes through with you. This is how you mix this. This is how you do that. So hopefully you will feel that you would like to come and see the other video that tells you what is lemongrass essential oil good for in a much more in-depth and actually safer format than this. We had to keep this short because I just wanted to answer the one question, but it's a broad subject. And I am a big believer that if you want to learn something, you go to somebody who knows what they're doing. So I'm glad that you came to see me about the aromatherapy. Like I say, we're sending you to Gare to learn about the blending. But when it comes to YouTube, there's nobody better than a 10-year-old, is there? So I'm going to pass you over to my 10-year-old son, Dexter, who is going to tell you how to like and share and subscribe to the channel if you like. And apparently there's a bit of wizardry that will tell you every time Gaglia or I upload some new content for you, so that you can immediately make sure that you don't miss any of the videos. And incidentally, if you are somebody who is selling doTERRA lemongrass essential oil or Young Living lemongrass essential oil, bear in mind that there are 56 of these cards, and so there are 56 masterclasses that will help you to get inside the brain of your customer and sell your product more safely and more effectively than perhaps you've been trained to so far. And they'll give you lots of inside information of ways to use the oil and get more sales. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass you to Dexter, and hopefully have a look just below the video in the description. You will see the link to the next video. Please do come across and have a proper lesson about what is lemongrass essential oil good for.
So I'm going to teach you how to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So you get your phone, you turn it this way up, and then there's a little red subscribe button. Turn it grey by clicking it, and then there's a little bell. Click that and press all at the bottom of your phone or tablet or computer. It will say you will receive all notifications. And then there's a little hand with a thumbs up. Click that, it'll turn it blue and it says added to your liked videos. And there will be comments. And if you want to, you can send a comment and say like hi's to Mum and Gagley. And then the link to the next video will be in the description below underneath the video. So, bye.